Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit more short-term technical analysis on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets, and more importantly, I still want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about this breakout that we've been following on Bitcoin for the last couple of days, because this breakout is continuing to develop, and as you guys know, it is continuing to develop in what may end up being a very bullish way. In today's video, I want to discuss this consolidation pattern right here, with an uptrend right there and a downtrend right there. As you can see, in just a couple of hours, if this consolidation pattern is actually to be established in this manner, we'll discuss that in a little bit, we're likely to see a breakout today. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing whether or not this is actually going to be the kind of consolidation pattern that we're going to break out of, the pennant that we're going to break out of, and we're also going to discuss which direction Bitcoin might break out of this pennant or any others that it forms over the next couple of days. We're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video, guys. So if you guys do enjoy today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing that notification bell, guys. It does help out the channel when you do it, and I would be appreciative if you did it. And by the way, when this video goes live, I am going to be in a car on a road driving on a very long road trip. I have about a 10-hour road trip that I am leaving on in about an hour after recording this video. So I'm going to record this video, put it out, and I'm going to be gone. And while I am gone, there are pre-recorded videos going up on the channel, so you'll have a video every day I am gone. But during those days and starting today, there's actually a sale I'm going to be running on CT2A. Since there's no topical videos for the next 2 days, I'll go ahead and give you guys 20% off on the coupon code April 2019. There's a 20% off coupon code for CT2A in the description down below. We'll get into more of that later on in the video. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Bitcoin is currently trading around $5,007. And the first thing that we want to discuss, of course, is the pennant here. Bitcoin does find itself in a pennant here. And as you probably know, whenever Bitcoin or any other market rallies and then it enters a consolidation pattern, that's called a pennant. And the reason it's called a pennant is because a lot of times, well, it looks like a pennant. It looks like a triangle. It looks like a flag on a flagpole. And what you'll find is that these tend to break in the direction that the market moved to form them. So let's say Bitcoin is moving bullish here, as it did, and then it moved into this gigantic pennant, by the way. This is a very large pennant considering the size of the flagpole. Let's say Bitcoin was bullish here, as it was, moved into the pennant, and then it broke bearish. That doesn't normally happen. Normally what you'll see is that when a market moves into a pennant, it will break bullish. That's actually something we discuss in this video, wedges and pennants. I go over all of this in that video in CT2A. But of course, in this video, we want to talk about this specific pennant because we want to decide and try to discern which direction Bitcoin is going to break. Is it going to break bullish or is it going to break bearish? Well, guys, there's a lot of different technicals that we have to look at here. One of them would be out on the daily chart, and one of those would, of course, be the daily MACD and also the RSI. Both of these technicals have very important things they're telling us. First of all, the daily MACD is very, very bullish. It is ridiculously bullish. This is absurd just how bullish this MACD is. We have not seen bullishness like this ever since Bitcoin was rebounding from the drop-off from $6,000. And of course, Bitcoin was ridiculously bullish back then. And you have to go months and months and months back into the past, way back into August of 2018, to find the last time that the histogram, in other words, the distance between the two lines, the MACD line and the signal line, were this far apart. Bitcoin's MACD is absurdly bullish. But one thing you'll also find is that every time Bitcoin's MACD goes up to these levels, like over here and like over here and like over here, Bitcoin's MACD doesn't stay up there for very long. It starts falling over. It starts moving to the downside, as you would expect, because the market cannot just simply run as far as it sometimes does and sustain that price action forever. Bitcoin can't just keep going up forever as much as we would like it to. It will do that on the longer term time scales. Of course, Bitcoin over the last 10 years is generally trending to the upside. You can see that on the longer term moving averages on the weekly and monthly charts. But on the short term, markets are indeed cyclical. And many times after you see a major bullish rally, you're going to see at least a minor bearish correction to follow. And that is actually one signal that you can get from the MACD that not a lot of people talk about, is that when the MACD is this bullish, you can actually use that as an overbought indicator in a similar way you can use the RSI. Speaking of the RSI, we do need to look at the daily RSI because Bitcoin's RSI is trading around 83. Let's go ahead and look back in history about the last time Bitcoin's daily RSI was trading around 83. Okay, I know you can't really see what's on the market. Go ahead, take a guess. How far away is it? Okay, it's back over here at the end of the 2017 bull run. That's the last time Bitcoin's RSI was this overbought. It was back over here when Bitcoin ran all the way to $20,000. And before that, it was when Bitcoin ran to $3,000, which was a major run-up. Bitcoin had been doing nothing but bullish price action for quite some time. So this is really a major indicator that we want to be looking at. Bitcoin's daily RSI is absurdly overbought, guys. 89 as a high on the RSI in the middle of an accumulation phase. That is very, very overbought. And the reason for that is because Bitcoin just blew the top off all of this resistance that it had above it and went straight to the moon over the last couple of days in the last week. Bitcoin did that, and we've seen the ramifications of that, seeing that the Bitcoin and MACD and stochastic, and RSI have gone absolutely ridiculously overbought. Similar things true on the daily RSI, although the RSI, the Stoch RSI, is starting to curve downwards. One more thing I also do want to look at is the fact that the weekly RSI, guys, the weekly stochastic RSI, guys, is still very overbought. And even though we have been ignoring this for 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to come back to bite us, and we are eventually going to see some kind of correction due in part to this weekly stochastic RSI. I've done videos on this in the past. You can browse the channel and find them. Every single time, and I'm not saying that hyperbolically, I mean every single time in the last couple of years that Bitcoin's stochastic RSI has gone above 95 like this, there has been a correction. There has been a drop in Bitcoin's price action. Every single time in the last 2 years that Bitcoin's Stoch RSI has gone that high, we've seen some kind of correction visible on the weekly chart. And that's important also because that typically means it's going to be a large correction. So all of this combining, and the fact that Bitcoin has broken all of these levels of resistance, gone very, very bullish, and I think the bulls probably need a little bit of time to relax, means that I'm not necessarily bearish here, guys. I want to make that clear. I'm not necessarily saying that I think Bitcoin's going to break bearish here with a 55, 60, 65% likelihood. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that there definitely is a lot of exuberance in the bulls right now, and there definitely is room for the bulls to run once more. There is most certainly room for Bitcoin to take one more leg up. Of course, pennants like this are bullish patterns, and typically when Bitcoin enters a pennant, or when any market enters a pennant like this after being bullish, it's probably going to break bullish. But here's the thing. Since we're in a pennant, we're going to see another one of those clairvoyant times. I've talked about this in the last couple of videos. About a week ago, I discussed this when Bitcoin actually broke out here. When you see Bitcoin or any other market break a major level of resistance and start running, that's how you know when and just how strong, I should say, the bulls or the bears are respectively. And as we saw back over here, when Bitcoin broke this resistance around $4,100, boom, we saw that the Bitcoin bulls were massively strong. They were very, very powerful, and I'm sure they still have a lot more of that power. It's a little harder to tell because of the recent price action over the last 2 days or so. But the next time we see a breakout, whether it be bullish or bearish, we're going to know once more just how strong the bulls or the bears are. For example, if Bitcoin blasts off like a rocket ship again, we're going to know that the bulls still have a lot of exuberance in them. And then after we blast off, we hit $5,500 or so, maybe then we'll have a correction. Maybe we go all the way up to $6,000, guys. If Bitcoin breaks out and only rallies all the way up to $5,200 or something, then we know that the bears are probably going to be in control. The bulls aren't very strong. And the same thing is true in the inverse. If the bears drop Bitcoin like a stone all the way down to $4,100, we know that there's still a lot of bearish exuberance in the market. And of course, if Bitcoin only drops down to maybe $4,800, $4,700 and then starts trending upwards, then we know that the bears aren't all that strong. There's a couple different scenarios, really about 4 or 5 different scenarios that can play out here. That, and of course, Bitcoin just trading sideways, invalidating this consolidation pattern and reestablishing another one, which is very possible, guys. You want to understand that there's one touch up here and one touch right down here. This is not necessarily what the final consolidation pattern and the final pennant that Bitcoin is going to be in will look like. It's very possible that Bitcoin bounces up here a little bit and then continues trading sideways, and then we redraw our trend lines like this. This kind of scenario is very, very possible and probably likely, to be totally honest. But I did want to draw this pennant to your attention and draw it on the chart so that we could then discuss it, because I think it's a very important topic, and I do think we're going to see some kind of breakout resulting from it in the next couple of days. And guys, I want you to tell me in the comment section down below which direction you think Bitcoin is going to break out, and I'll go ahead and tell you here. I think that there is a slightly higher likelihood, if Bitcoin breaks bullish or bearish out of this and doesn't trade sideways. I'll discuss that in a second. If Bitcoin breaks bullish and it indeed does that, I think there's about a 60% chance likelihood that Bitcoin does that. 40% chance likelihood that Bitcoin breaks bearish to some caliber. Now, these might be very bullish breakouts. They might be very bearish breakouts. Might not be that much of a bullish breakout. Might not be that much of a bearish breakout. But if I were to be totally honest, the most likely scenario to me is a bullish breakout, and it's not a very strong one. It's maybe up to $5,200, $5,300, maybe a little bit higher. Maybe Bitcoin has that fuel in the tanks. Maybe the bulls can pull that off. We'll see. But a lot of these technicals are going to start coming to catch up with Bitcoin, and they are going to start pulling Bitcoin down. So don't take me as a perma bear, guys. I do think there's a bull market coming in the next couple of months, and I do think it's going to be crazy. It's going to be something the likes of which we have not seen since 2017, and perhaps all the way back since 2013 during the gigantic rally that ran Bitcoin up to $1,300 originally. But for the time being anyway, I think the bulls do need to take a little bit of a breather. Even if they break bullish here, they're probably going to fall over, and the bears are going to regain that strength for a little while, probably just for a couple of weeks, but I think that's going to happen. Now, of course, there is that other scenario that Bitcoin trades sideways here, redefines the way this consolidation pattern looks, and then we break bullish or bearish out of that one. There is a very high chance that that happens because I've seen these consolidation patterns, these pennants. I've watched hundreds of them, guys, and a lot of times what you'll see is that when you're early on in the pennant like this, oftentimes the pennant is going to actually just get ignored, and the pennant's going to get redrawn sometime later on the chart. That does tend to happen, so there is a good chance of that. It doesn't necessarily mean that the breakout is coming today. We could see something like this form, and then Bitcoin has to reestablish that pennant, something like this. Whatever it ends up looking like, then we see the breakout in a couple of days. Very possible. The reason I'm discussing all of this at length is because, of course, I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, and I'm not going to be able to do topical videos while I'm out of town. I'm going to be like 10 hours away from home or whatever, so I'm not going to be making videos because I want to focus on the work I have to do while I'm there. But anyway, guys, that is why I wanted to go ahead and do some more shorter-term TA in today's video. And also, since I'm going to be gone, like I said, I'm going to be running a sale on CT2A. You guys do seem to really be enjoying those sales. Every time I run a sale, I have a ton of you guys join, and then you all email me and tell me how much you enjoy the content in the course. So, guys, there is a sale going on CT2A at the moment. The coupon code is April 2019, and that will be a 20% off coupon code for the course when you apply that at checkout, guys. We have 30 videos in the course, over 8 hours of content. Anything you want to learn about cryptocurrency and technical analysis, you will find it in this course. We discuss many different concepts in today's video. For instance, we talked about gauging the strength of the bulls and the bears, a very, very important concept when you're discussing technical analysis. It's not all about looking at indicators and reading the charts and looking at previous market structure. A lot of it's about understanding just how strong the bulls or the bears are, and trying to get to the bottom of which faction is stronger. And this is a very important concept, and that's why there's a video on this. There's also a video similar to that on gauging the strength of support and resistance. You want to be able to understand these concepts so that you're able to more accurately understand what the markets are doing and more accurately understand what the markets are going to do in the future, so that then, of course, you can alter your trades as such. All the different technical indicators we talked about, RSI, MACD, moving averages, etc. We have videos on all of those if you want to get caught up on all of these. Of course, we have videos starting from the very beginner. If you're a very beginner in cryptocurrency technical analysis, excuse me, you're going to find a lot of value here. And I actually have set up the course so that a complete beginner can take it. You can start here on how I use and set up TradingView, and you can also continue on through the course and learn much more advanced concepts that we'd be discussing for much more advanced users. So whether or not you have just started technical analysis or you've been doing TA for a while, you'll probably find, I think you will find value in the course, guys. And the thing about CT2A is that if you don't enjoy the content, simply shoot me an email and I will give you all of your money back for free. All you got to do is shoot me an email within the first 14 days of buying the course, watch less than 30% of the course material, which is like 10 videos, so you can get a pretty good understanding whether or not you want to enjoy the course in that time. Shoot me an email, I'll give you all your money back, no questions asked. Just let me know. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. That sale is going to be running for the next 2 or 3 days or so. I think I have it set to end at midnight on Tuesday. So if you've been looking forward to getting into CT2A and you've been waiting on a sale, now is your time. And if you want to learn how to do cryptocurrency technical analysis and you want to learn how to read the charts and prepare yourself for the coming bull market, there is the link in the description down below. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I am feeling kind of nostalgic because I'm going to be gone for a couple days and I won't get to talk to you for a little while. But anyway, I will be prowling the comment section, liking all of your comments, reading all of them, and responding to you guys while I am gone. Anyway, guys, I will be back in a little while. I do want to thank each and every single one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.